All right, the whole reason I sort of hit the fit about the discussion of rotational sports, rotational movements, is that because in biomechanics, there's like many different ways to quantify different aspects of rotations. And each of those ways or each of those variables or concepts are very, very different. They describe very different things. So in this video, I wanted to go through what each of them means in the field of biomechanics and comment below which one did you get lost at, okay? So first, rotational position. Sometimes we also describe it as orientation. And these are directly measured a lot of times when we're attaching markers to bony landmarks during biomechanical research. And then we calculate relationships between those landmarks into three orthogonal or three perpendicular vectors, okay? These are kind of like direction signs that describes the orientation of any thing in space or any body segment. So for example, we attach enough markers to define the orientation of the hand in space such that this orientation is going to be different than that orientation. So these are the orientations, okay? These are sometimes, I call it segment kinematics, meaning the orientations of those segments specifically in space. So that's layer one, positions in the orientation sense. Level 2, relative positions or relative orientations. So these are what really describes joint angles, okay? Because joint angles are directly constructed from the relative orientations of two segments or two sets of these axes. And there's many ways you can calculate mathematically this relative relationship between those axes, and that's how you get joint angles. And these are relative measures of orientation. So if both of these are in this position, right, you have this one angle that's fixed. It doesn't matter how you rotate both of these segments together in space, that relative orientation doesn't change, okay? So this is the part one of explaining all of the rotational based variables. If you get lost at this step, I'm sorry, you might not be ready for what's coming next.